So, my name is Maggie Denning, and today I'm going to be talking about a very, very exciting app called Coggle. So, today we're going to talk about three things. The first is getting to know me, getting to know Coggle. The second part is actually using Coggle, and the third is practically applying Coggle within a lesson plan. So, as I said before, my name is Maggie Denning. I am a Tarleton State University student. I will graduate in the fall, and my concentration is 4th through 8th English, Language Arts and Reading, and Social Studies with ESL. So, what is Coggle? As you can see by the picture here, Coggle is a website and digital app where users can create mind maps. It's available as a website and on digital stores, so Apple and Google Play. And you can start it with third graders. You could go lower than that if you wanted, but I recommend about third grade to start, so that way it's challenging. It's the appropriate level of challenge for the students to not become frustrated, also known as independent level. How much does Coggle cost? Well, it's actually free. Now, there are different features one can use with the paid options. However, the free is sufficient for students to thrive in a 21st century classroom. So what are some features and benefits? Well, users can collaborate, so you can comment on it, you can edit other people's work, you can comment on it, you can make your own, you can do all these things we think of when collaborating across digital platforms with Coggle. You can see change history, so however that might be of use to you, you can use it. You can use unlimited image uploads, so if you would like to use an image to hammer home your point, then you certainly can, especially for our ESL students or students who need that visual support. You can also use shared folders, so it's like it features all the usual advantages one can think of with using shared folders, so you don't have to go in there and individually share things with every single person, because once you start getting class sizes, even 12, I mean, that's still, when you multiply that by how many items you would have to share per student, that can be a lot of work, a lot of unnecessary work, I might add. So now let's transition into using Coggle across devices. So on computers, Coggle is Windows and Mac compatible. Now this demonstration here will show you how it's done on a Mac, but it's the same kind of premise across Windows as well.
Coggle is a great way to understand, organize, and share information on any topic with colleagues, classmates, or just on your own. Understand, organize, and share information on any topic with colleagues, classmates, or just on your own. Let's sign in and create a new diagram. Click the central item to edit the title. I'm going to use this diagram to plan an awesome new business idea. Use the plus buttons to add branches. You can add as many as you need. Click on text to edit it, or drag an item to move it around. The structure of the diagram helps to keep your ideas organized. Right-click on an item to open the context menu. Here you can change its color, remove it, and all sorts of other useful things. After you've added some items,
so that kind of gave you an idea of how Coggle is done. Like I said, it's really user friendly. Just give yourself a few minutes to play with it and you'll get it. So on tablets and phones, it is Android and iOS compatible. Here, the picture is an example of me using it on an iOS device. Okay, so now we've reached the point where we know what Coggle is, we have a general understanding of how to use it, and so now it's time to see what Coggle looks like with a learning strategy. This particular strategy is called question answer relationship strategy, and it's from the book Teaching Reading Sourcebook. And so what it is it was developed by Terry Raphael in 1986, and the entire point is to help students identify and understand different types of questions, usually usually referenced in informational and literary text to answer comprehensional questions. So we're kind of giving the students the keys to the code, right? Because if you know what kind of question it is, then you know how to answer it, or at least you know where to find your answer. So the question types, very briefly, right there questions are those that are similar to shooting fish in a barrel. They're, the word for word from the sentence. The next one is a think and search, so students will look across the text to find the answer, which will be worded slightly different than the question. Then there's on my own, so this one is just coming from the learner schema. The next one is author and me, so now the student is using both their schema and their understanding to create their response. So this lesson plan is based off the Tarleton lesson cycle. I'm sure it's used in other places and it's probably called different things. Either way, I'm going to refer to it as the Tarleton lesson cycle. And I used the book Never Smile at a Monkey by Steve Jenkins to be the mentor text. I highly recommend this book. It's amazing, wonderful, really very, very good read. So the first thing we will do is have a discussion as a class and just think about what habits and strategies good readers use. One of those is questioning, both before, during, and after, to evaluate comprehension and make a deeper understanding with the text. And we'll also talk about questions offered in stories, or maybe when you're reading something, what questions do you think about? During the next piece, we would explain the 4 categories, and we would give examples using the mentor text. So, in this instance, I give plenty of examples of the 4 different types of questions within Never Smile at a Monkey. The guided practice, so I made a tree, I'll show you that in a second. I made a tree using the app. I used the website. But basically, the students will look at my tree and they'll find examples of questions. And then they'll try to match up those examples and see which one is which question. And then finally, students identify and answer questions using their own tree. So with scaffolding, students will build their own trees and they'll start to identify and answer questions. And by the end of this exercise, students will be able to create their own question. They'll understand where these questions are coming from and what they're asking, which is all we want. So I'm just going to show you an example of what what that looks like here practically. So I'm gonna press login, sign in with Google. That's me. Okay, so here's my Coggle. And so these are the questions I would ask, and then students would say, oh, I know what this is, and they can comment on it. No, that's not the way you comment. But they can comment on it, and they can do things with it. But that is how you use a Coggle, and I hope you can appreciate this and use it for your own classroom. Thank you.